In programming, there are certain languages that are bad for beginners. In other words, you shouldn't pick those languages if you're starting to do programming. In this video, let's look at those certain languages that are not good for you to begin with. In the first position, we have C++. This language is difficult. In other words, it's not good for you to start with. So it's not necessary to begin with C++ if you're new to programming and if you're new to coding. If you start with this language, you will just make yourself, your coding journey will be hard. So this language is so hard depending on other programming languages that you can start with. So even programmers don't recommend junior programmers to start with C++. So if you're going to do projects, or if you're going to program something like a graphic user interface, desktop software, database systems, and I think learning C++ may make sense, or you may go with it. So another thing is C++ is a low-level language that gives access to computer resources like memory, CPU. C++ gives access to those. So it's important in that way. So this means you should learn about memory management in computer. You should learn about the low-level tasks. So you should try to learn those things like memory management, which is at least something hard. So if you're a junior developer, learning all those things, the basics, may be hard for you. So I say that if you don't understand well the fundamentals of programming, so stay away from C++. Another language is C programming language. C is considered to be the basis of most languages like C++, Java, Python, or even JavaScript. So all those languages come from C language. So for that case, it may be the basis of those languages. So it is a low-level language used in development of system software, application software. C is used in development of those applications. So another thing is that C lacks many important features. So since it lacks some important features, it may not be enough for a beginner, yet it's hard also to understand. So it's not so commonly needed by the companies, and it's not so popular on the market. So learning C, you'll find hard time, and it will be like a wastage of time, yes, yet it's even hard. Another thing is that we have other languages like we have CH and we have Java. Most people do love CH and Java due to the large community support. It has a wider community. Whenever you get any problem, the community is available and there is a quick help from that. But they are also hard, though they have a wider community. So another thing is that they like Java due to high payment. Because of the high payment of CH and Java, it makes it makes people to love that kind of language because it's paid highly. But note that for if you're just starting to do programming, this will be hard. These languages are hard. For example, Java has a verbose and complex code structure. The structure of Java, its code is hard. It's hard to pick for a beginner. So it's better you go with some easy to understand language. If you're learning, there is an option for Java. You can even go for Python, because if you measure the strength, if you measure the hardness, so Java is so hard compared to Python. So it's better you go with Python. So for that case, we have other language. We have like Swift and Kotlin. So these languages, for example, Kotlin has a small community. Whenever you face a challenge, finding a solution for this challenge, you may take a while because the community is small and you may take a long time. Otherwise, you'll struggle for things on your own. And there are limited resources for solutions if you're learning Kotlin. So it's not so popular. For that case, I don't recommend you to start with that kind of language. So we have PHP. PHP, this is most used language. So it has been commonly used in many websites. For example, like 77% of the websites have used PHP. But why is it bad to start with? It's bad because each year by each year, PHP is falling each year by each year. So it's losing the popularity. So minimal websites still use PHP, e.g. WordPress, Magento, Joomla, and other CMS websites that use PHP. So it's easy to create websites. It's easy to create websites using these platforms, WordPress, Magento, Joomla, because even they don't require the programming knowledge, so it's simple. But if someone require a website of coding, PHP will be the worst option to choose. It will not be so important. But there are other alternatives like Node.js. You can learn Python. Those languages will be good for that case. We have another language that is SQL. This is commonly used to manage data in databases. SQL is commonly known for data storage. So SQL is different from other languages, for example Java, Python, because it focuses on managing data. Managing SQL easily recover, filter, sort, change data using SQL. So it's easy to recover, filter, sort, and change data using SQL. So for that case, those are some of the importances of SQL. But SQL can't be used on the visual part of a website. You need a general purpose language first to learn. So if you're trying to start programming beginning with SQL, that is a bad idea. So you need to first learn a general purpose language For example, you can begin with a language front end that is visible. You can look on a website and design it on your own. Maybe later you can go for SQL to manage data. SQL is good because it manages data, but I don't recommend you starting with SQL. It's not a good idea to start with SQL. So for that case, those are certain ideas I wanted to come up with about the languages you should start with. So if you need to learn more about the best languages to start with, tell me down in the comment section, so I'll let you know about that. Thanks for watching.